All right, this is DIY troubleshooting project number one. Troubleshooting project, nothing needed to be replaced or repaired. It was just a matter of readjusting the pressure water tank. So this is actually a well water pump with a well water tank. That's what they call it. It's the most commonly used system for well water. But in rural areas, you do have situations where you're using a catchment tank. But it's the same system. It's whether it's a well or a catchment tank. But first thing to identify, the complaint was there's not enough adequate water or pressure in the shower. So, and this is anywhere, the faucets, the toilets, it's not getting enough pressure. For example, if you're using the shower, it starts off good, and all of a sudden it's like gets to drizzling, then just a little bit drips coming out of the shower head, and then it's just unusable until finally the pump will start intaking water. So it's definitely a pressure issue. So before you get into it, you always assess the situation first. And before I get into it, I'm not a licensed plumber. I have no experience with plumbing whatsoever, but I'm an adamant DIYer. I love to research things. I would spend hours just to research things so that I can fix it myself and save some money. So let's get into it. So from my research, first thing you do is you look at the label. Okay, here at the label it says they have settings for pressure switch setting. Now I had to research what is that, a pressure switch setting. So a pressure switch setting would be located in this pressure switch module. I don't know if it's actually called that, but just bear with me. So this is the module where you can switch your pressure settings. And then on the other side, we're gonna go back down. It talks about your tank PSI. So if you have your pressure, which is right here, set to, let's say for example 40 to 60, which is on the bottom, then your tank, which is, you have the airway valve here. I have my bank pump to that I put on, and I can get an accurate reading of how much PSI is in there, would be as it states right here, 38 PSI. So in this instance, I put the bike pump, and I actually had 40 PSI in the tank. So the tank is excellent. It's good. It's more than the 38, which is not big of a deal. I can take out some air if I wanted, but it's not a big deal. I have actually 39 to 40 in this tank. So the tank is good. So the next part is to check the water intake. And that's probably the main reason. So as you can see, it's at 50, but this is where we want it. We want it between 50 and 60. Because as you drain this whole entire water tank, this PSI reading should go back to 60. And that's how it's adjusted here. So this is the most important part. It's this module here. So I'm going to take it apart. And as you can see, there's going to be two springs right over there. If you can see that, there's these two springs. This one right here, the biggest spring to the left, this is what controls your pump from going on or off, right? So I had it, so for some reason, it was not going, the pump wasn't going on until until the meter went all the way to 10. And that explains why my mom was complaining about her drizzles coming out of the shower and whatsoever. So I already corrected the problem, just to let you guys know ahead of time, but I'm just explaining what happened. So usually this might happen, and as it says on the sticker, you're supposed to check your pressure settings annually. As things happen, the more you use your water, the pressure changes, air seeps out, it seeps out. So you always got to check it annually. That's the most important thing. And in this instance, it's been about 10 years since it's been checked. So also you look and assess over here, there's some rust and corrosion that could cause the problem. The pump itself vibrates a lot, so that could create another problem in readjusting the screw. So really you just got to clean it up. I did a little bit cleaning. I'm going to put some WD-40 on that, get back to it, but everything should be at its prime setting. So this is what you do to adjust it. I have it back at 40. So meaning that once you use water and it goes to 40, it will shut back on and start intaking water into the tank. The smaller spring, which is the one on the right, that's going to determine how much water you want to go into the tank, how much it's going to intake. So again, that's why where it says right here, you want 60. So you want 60, and it's close to 60. The reason why it's there in the middle is because I use the water in the house a little bit, so that's why it's there. So as you use the water in the house, the meter will go down, and once it hits 40, it'll go, the pump will activate again. So that's how it's gonna work. This is just a basic troubleshooting. This isn't gonna repair everybody's problems, but if your pump is still working and your tank is still good and it's not leaking, then those are the three things you do. You just check the air pressure in your tank. You check the pressure switch. You know, making sure that it's still gonna activate at 40, and then also how much water you're intaking with the little spring on the right. So that's what it is, and you gotta do this annually. I didn't know you needed to do this annually, but when you do so, everything should be working fine. And these things are built to last a very long time. So if you have any comments, questions, feel free to comment. All right, thank you. Bye.